Welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell, Chief.
Farewell, wanna do you fish, palace lady.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. He is
Cool.
I'm Skid Gore. It's been a long time, but we're glad to be back, and we're doing an all shark episode. Our little sharks and squids and
Anything
anything that is in the water that can kill you, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
we now obviously this collection, there's 10,000 movies that are about sharks and collaboration.
not a lot of them are
good. So we're gonna try to pick some of the best ones that we enjoyed, or they may be computers, but at the same time they're good movies. We're not gonna deal with Sharktopus and lava,
Sharknado, all that stuff.
That shit's
we love to watch that stuff, and it's very entertaining, but we kind of want to cater it more to serious shark films and animal
deaths.
Films, yeah.
So without further ado, we'll take a break. We'll get this started, guys. Cheers. Hey guys, let's get this show started here. Of course, we don't have as many movies, but we picked the best of the best. What we think. Obviously, our show is always based on opinion. But first one I'm going to start is 1979's Up From the Depth. The Roger Corman Presents.
Right on.
This one's a cool creature feature. It deals kind of with a mutated shark of sorts. These people all go to this first class resort. And all of a sudden, it's like people start disappearing mysteriously in this, in the water. And this biologist comes around, and he thinks that it's earthquakes under, that are causing the disappearances and stuff. But what he finds out is that no, there's a big giant flesh-eating creature that lurks the depths. Now, obviously, from being 79, it's a lower budget movie. But the location's really cool in this one. It actually does do in I think it's in Maui. So the Hawaiian Islands actually, like nowadays where people just build them on sets in Hollywood. These movies
CGI bullshit, that's the real deal.
These movies actually go on location a lot of the time, which is really kind of cool to see. You deal with actually the locals and stuff. So yeah, definitely Up From the Depths, 1979. There you go.
Looks pretty cool.
It's a good
I
start.
don't think I've ever seen that one. It looks pretty sweet.
It's a good one. It's on a double feature with Demon of Paradise, a Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh yeah, we watched that one too. That was killer.
And that's actually a good movie.
Alright, so basically we're doing sharks, piranhas, giant squids, crocs.
Leeches, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Anything out of the water, not something in your bathtub.
Yeah. So my first one is called The Hatching. This movie I really honestly didn't care for. I thought the acting was pretty shitty, honestly, but the story was pretty cool. But the only reason I'm showing this movie is because me and Ghoul are both fans of non-CGI movies, practical effects, creature features.
Putting work into your job.
Yeah, absolutely. A fucking craft. And I think this movie, even though it didn't deliver on the acting, it definitely delivered on the croc, the crocodile.
It's not a croc, man.
There's a difference. I know. There's a difference, but yeah, I think it looks really cool. It's all practical effects. Might have mixed a little bit of CGI in there as well, but I mean, you get to see the behind-the-scenes shit of this, and it looks like a real crocodile. Like you could put this in the pool or a beach or something, and people would be freaking out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess give it a shot. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's all right. The Hatching. Go with your
All right, and we get into the wide works of just random movies. From 2003, a movie called Parasite. This was kind of a thriller more than it is like a horror film. I guess it's kind of a mixture. Basically, this crew goes out for oil drilling out on the water, And while they're drilling up for oil, they, again, people go missing. These movies basically start because somebody goes missing.
I'm sensing a
Somebody's gotta figure
pattern.
it
I'm
out here.
sensing a pattern here.
You're going to see it. And basically these environmentalists end up unleashing this very, very large parasite, which looks like a very snake-like leech, I guess.
Nice.
And basically it makes its home inside of the rig and takes care of these people one by one. It's got kind of a like the movie Anaconda, that kind of feel where it's got this, you're like on the back of the parasite, you follow it through the rig and stuff. I mean, it's kind of got some cool camera stuff, obviously computers, but
Yeah.
sometimes you can't get away from it. It's still a fun film though. I kind of enjoyed this one. So,
What year is that one?
2003. So definitely check out Parasite. It's a newer one.
Right.
But of course the tagline of drilling into pure terror. Yeah.
Isn't that the one that said that as soon as you thought it was safe to go into water, they totally ripped off Jaws?
Just when you
2?
thought it was going back in the water. Yep.
Yeah, they ripped off Jaws 2 there.
There you go.
To be continued. Alright, my next one. Oh my goodness, I got a real doozy here. Piranha DD. Yeah,
Double D's.
definitely good old David Hasselhoff. Best known for this one. This is the one. This is the one where they're in the theme park, summer attraction park, and David Hasselhoff just got to save the day, I guess. And this is a guilty pleasure, man. Like it's not the greatest movie like a lot of these movies are, but they're just does something to you, and you enjoy watching them, and that's all it's all about. So Piranha DD, it's fucking awesome.
Speaking of Jaws 2,
Oh,
there she is.
Jaws 2.
Chief Brody makes Roy Scheider makes a reappearance, I guess.
Yep.
Basically, the people start going missing. I'm gonna get sick of saying that, but but they're going off in an all too familiar way.
Yeah.
And
He is suspects.
Chiefy's brought it back in because he goes something's a little fishy.
I got a half-eaten whale on the beach. I got 2 water skiers missing. You tell me it's not my business.
So this is another good one. Richard Zanuck did this one.
Yeah.
So
That's the one with the kids on the boat, and
Yeah.
I really think that's a great one, except for that one hysterical blonde that I can't stand. You just want the
yeah.
shark to eat.
Yeah, on the boat. Ooh.
Yeah, but Jaws 2 is one of
Yikes.
my personal
This
favorite
is a great movie.
sequels.
Yeah, when you talk sequels, this definitely is up there. I think we talked very early on some
Yeah.
shows about sequels. That was definitely one of them because
Absolutely.
it is.
And then that scene at the end with the shark
Oh.
taking the fucking what was it the
Um,
what the hell does he hold up? It's like a power line. Yeah.
yeah,
Cable
Jaws
junction,
bites into
yeah.
it and he just yeah.
That is such fucking cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Jaws 2 is fucking gold. I love it. We go from gold to shit. Sorry.
You know,
Um,
we're shitting gold.
I don't know. You might like it. It's a newer movie. It's called Open Water 3 Cage Dive. Now, what attracted me to this movie was the trailer, and the trailer really is fucking cool. Like you see it and you think it's really going to be a great film, and it is until it becomes kind of a Blair Witch on the ocean. First person crap.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. But there are some good great white shark action in this as well. The tsunami, or the rogue wave that takes the ship, was pretty cool. That was really unexpected, by the way. That actually kind of took me by surprise. But the acting kind of turned into like a lover's quarrel between this guy fucking hitting on this other chick, and the fucking boyfriend's fucking all pissed at his best friend. And, I don't know. I didn't really care for that part, but the shark action was alright. CGI sharks, but I thought they looked better than most. So, yeah. Check out Open Water 3 Cage Dive.
There you go.
It was alright.
This would have been 77 Orca.
Ooh, Orca.
The killer whale.
Fucking A.
This was definitely, you don't see too many killer
Richard
whale
Harris,
movies.
baby.
Oh, Derek. Oh, yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah, I guess for some people it is kind of not a guilty pleasure, but it's kind of one of those movies where,
I grew up with it.
yeah, people kind of go, a killer whale.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got really great special effects in this film.
Oh man, yeah, the killer whales.
The dead whale on the shore, and I mean, just how they did it was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Orca from 1977. It's a lesser known film.
Yeah. Needs more love for sure.
It does. This was kind of like,
I think Richard Harris's role in that as Nolan was really great. He's like a
fisherman.
Yeah, he's just determined to get this whale, and it all kind of just backfires, and then there's a huge revenge plot with the whale and the whale with Nolan, and it's kind of like an Ahab, Moby Dick type story at the end there, and he's kind of flying all over by the tail, literally. And but the one scene in that movie I'll say real quick about Orca you gotta check out is the fight between the orca and a great white shark.
oh,
It's the only fucking movie you'll ever fucking see where an orca and a great white shark will fight, and they make it look so fucking real because they splice like actual nature footage together. But it looks so real, like it's actually happening. And the shark, the great white, just flies out of the fucking water, hits the water, and blood everywhere. That was a great movie.
Yep.
Orca kicks ass. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the remake of Piranha, and yeah, I love this movie. Jerry O'Connell's such a fucking asshole. He loses his Connell, literally. That was one of the best scenes. But no, the best scene is Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
In the opening, reprising his role of Hooper, man. That's great. There's a scene in this movie that just, oh man. There's the spring break scene. If anyone's ever seen this, you know what I'm talking about. It's so bloody. Eli Roth gets killed. It's just so bloody, like the water just turns red everywhere, and it's just the coolest fucking thing. It's such a guilty pleasure, man. The remake of Piranha. A remake of a great film already. Piranha.
I can't do that. 1980, we're going Alligator. The classic. What's plugging up your sewers? Well, there's a giant 30-foot alligator in it.
Oh my god, yeah.
This movie, man, is just... This is something. This is such a fun film to watch.
All me and Ghoul can say is wedding scene.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the wedding scene where people are flying through cake and the old man in the limo... oh, it's so...
He doesn't give a shit, just like...
Yeah. It's just...
I got a feeling you'll probably be seeing that a little bit later.
Yeah, it is such a fun movie.
Yeah.
Very well done. I mean, you really don't see the alligator, but you really don't need to. I mean, you see him, like, you just see his tail, like, going off, you know, and
they splice it with real alligators, which is hilarious, too, because they're these miniatures, and there's a real alligator climbing, and you totally can see it.
Yeah, it's like it's like a little lizard, and it's just, it's a great movie from 1980. Definitely one of the better alligator films.
That movie needs a better release,
yes, it
DVD,
does.
Blu-ray release. It deserves it. I hope Scream Factory, some cool fucking company, makes it.
Yeah.
Because Alligator is an awesome, and I don't like that cover, but the original one sheet of Alligator is so cool. Like Alligator in the sewer, that was so badass. I got a little more modern one as well. This is actually one of my favorites as well. It's called 47 Meters Down. This actually probably should be a little lower on the list because it's a really great film. None of these are in order anyway. You know the drill.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of grab shit. But this one was really cool. I saw this one in the theater. Mandy Moore's acting is pretty bad, but
there's a surprise.
Yeah, but it really is a great story about, you know, cage diving with great white sharks and shit goes wrong. Cage falls to the 47 meters down and they got to retrieve the cage, and there's hallucination scenes where you think something's happening and you know,
it's not.
Yeah, it kind of fucks with your head, man. But 47 meters down is great, and just for the sharks alone, the whites look really amazing in this movie. They are CG mixed with real shark action, but they look so real. And this is a great movie if you would have seen this in the theater, because man, this whole shark just took up the whole screen. It was just so cool. But 47 Meters Down is probably one of the best shark movies of our time, honestly. It really is great, 47 Meters Down.
Alright, we're going to the next one in the series, Open Water 2.
Oh.
Adrift.
That one I've never seen, Ghoul.
I've seen it once. I don't remember much of it.
See the first one and the third one, not the second.
Yeah, I've seen it. I started watching it. I kind of probably dozed off, I'm sure. All I know is like a bunch of these kids go on this yacht trip, and yeah, just that's kind of really all I remember from that movie. So if you guys like the open water series, check them out. It's kind of your own taste and pleasure, I suppose. But
right on. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to say a whole lot about a movie. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's like, hey, it's
This
out
movie
there.
came out when I was born, 1983. Jaws 3. Oh man, Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. and Bess Armstrong. This movie is such nostalgic value for me. I remember this movie was on USA Up All Night all the time, and fucking like, I used to rent it from the video store. Remember those?
Yeah. Right.
Like, it was just. This is just such a great movie. I love it. Nowhere near as good as the first or even the second one. Better than the fourth one.
Better than Revenge.
Better than
Yeah.
the fourth one. But this is cool in the theme park, and the really outdated CGI at the end when Jaws is coming. Their Bruce, or like he's coming.
Oh god,
at
right at the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It was supposed to be 3D.
3D. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Rules right. This movie kicks. I think this Amityville 3D and Friday the 13th 3D kind of started that whole 3D thing in the 80s.
Well, you had Nightmare on Elm Street. I think that was 90s. I think they did that.
Wes Craven's new, or Freddy's Dead, maybe.
Yeah,
something
one of
like
them.
that.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is like kind of the 3D craze, and this is a really good movie. I love Jaws 3. I'm sure everyone's seen Jaws 3. Check it
hope
out.
so. Alright guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break here. So, join us for the last set of movies here, guys. Cheers.
Going on, guys. Hope you're enjoying their killer shark, croc, piranha, giant squid, anything in the
Whatever.
water that can eat you, basically,
Or
episode.
kill ya. Anyway,
So let's keep this rolling.
next set.
Next set.
Put down your head.
Putting
Jeez.
down my head, and I come into Rogue. This movie is great. It's from the director of Wolf Creek. Basically, these tourists stumble into croc territory in Australia, and a very big crocodile,
They usually
of
have
normal
to be.
size, and it kind of just terrorizes them, and it's kind of a survival story as well. Good. It's CG, but it's also, I think some of it's practical as well. It's a good combo. But Rogue is a really good movie. It's from this Dimension Extreme, which I personally kind of miss this line of films.
They did Inside.
and Martyrs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Storm Warning also, stuff like that. But yeah, Rogue is great. It's a really good croc movie. If you guys like croc movies, I highly recommend Rogue. And this next one, Ghoul's gonna talk about.
Alright. With that being said,
Which is my personal favorite.
another croc movie called Black Water.
Yes.
It's from 2008.
The best.
Basically, these people go on a little adventure in the Australian swamp, and their tour guide gets killed, eaten by the croc.
It's a common
And
theme.
yeah, no shit. Who would have thought? And basically, they kind of have to survive. Their boat capsizes, and they gotta climb up in a tree while being stalked by this croc.
Yes.
And they kind of gotta make a decision. You know, what do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to risk life and limb, or do you want to live in a limb? So yeah, it's definitely got atmosphere.
That one definitely has atmosphere.
It definitely just. The idea of like being trapped in the middle of a swamp.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just even if there was no croc or anything like that. Like that's just scary alone to think like.
Totally isolated
Oh
out there.
man! So
No
definitely
holes.
check out Black Water. It's a very good croc movie.
It's kind of one of those movies too where you kind of care about the characters too. They're not just kind of thrown in there just to be croc bait. You actually kind of care about them. They have stories. I believe one of the male leads was going to propose to one of the chicks in the boat or something, and then of course stuff went bad. It's kind of one of those movies where you care more about the characters as well.
Because there's good build up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely learn the characterization, and they do it right.
And it's really cool to
not
watch
rushed.
the behind the scenes of that film as well, because they show how they made it with real crocs, and they had this croc wrangler at the time, and It's amazing how they did that, really.
Mhm.
And if I was one of those actors, I'd be like, I'm going to
thanks.
my trailer, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, my next movie, because this has been known as an Italian Jaws ripoff called The Last Shark
Mm-hmm.
from 1981, but I think that's a little bit harsh because I think it's its own film. Well, instead of Bruce being 25 feet in Jaws, this shark is 35 feet, so they have to kind of compete with that.
Yeah.
Kind of basically the same story, but a lot of stuff is a little bit different. You know, it's not a total Jaws ripoff.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, they're having trouble with the mayor closing the beach, and you know, there's this huge 35-foot shark out there, and you got this shark hunter that kind of looks a bit like Quint. I mean, come on, that dude kind of looks a bit like Quint.
Oh yeah.
So I can kind of see how people would say this is Italian Jaws ripoff, but for the most part, I think it's a really good movie. Check it out. And by the way, I really want the one sheet of this because that cover is killer.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That ghost shark almost. Alright, moving on to the original Roger Corman classic, Piranha. You really don't have to say much about this one. This
Barbara
was just,
Steele, baby.
yeah, I mean, this is just like the ultimate. I mean, and this is a real terror. I mean, piranhas. You can watch all.
You ain't kidding.
You can watch all them documentaries that say piranhas. You know, he sits in a pool and around piranhas, they don't bite him and attack. But one hint of blood, you got a little open sore.
Oh, it's over.
Game over. You might as well not even try. And this movie, that's why it is so damn terrifying, because this can happen. I wouldn't say anywhere, but this can happen without you even knowing. A 17-foot shark you can see going by, but you can't see a school of piranhas. So it even today, terrifying fucking movie.
Yeah, it is. All practical effects, obviously.
Oh yeah. A little easier, I think, than trying to do a big shark.
Yeah, directed by
that would've been
the great. He did Gremlins.
Joe Dante.
Yeah, Joe Dante. Excellent.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's an early fun for him, dude.
Very, yeah. Did you do The Howling?
Huh?
I think he did The
Yeah.
Howling. Yeah, he's known for The Howling. Okay, I have the first open water here. This one was really good. This one.
The original.
This one's
was
pretty
best,
freaky.
yeah.
Like I think this is actually based on a true case where these scuba divers got stranded from their scuba, group or whatever, and then they got stranded in the sea, surrounded by sharks, and they're like mostly white tip reef sharks and Caribbean reef sharks, stuff like that. You know, no great whites or tigers or bulls, but still to be surrounded by gray reef sharks in the open ocean like that when there's storms coming, and it's kind of like one of those it's definitely a survival story. A lot of these movies that we're showing are survival stories.
Yeah.
Definitely Blackwater is one.
You'd have to. I mean.
Yeah, because like, what are you gonna do in a situation like that? You're either gonna panic and probably
Die.
mess something up and kill yourself or your lover or whatever, or you're gonna survive. You're gonna take charge of the situation and you're gonna kick ass and try to outdo nature, which is no easy task. And I think whitewater. I think open water really is a testament to that. Check that one out.
Yeah. All right.
Oh no, Ghoul! No.
I'm not saving the best for last, and that's for damn sure. I should have started with this one.
This one hurts.
Jaws 4, the Caribbean Jaws. How in the hell does Jaws get to the Caribbean? Was he on vacation?
What I want to know is, how does he know who Lauren Gary's character is?
Oh shit.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
It's like following her
All right.
all the way from Amityville to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's whatever I'm saying.
And then, of course, you got her son,
Michael. Yep.
Lance, guest, and you got Michael Caine, the pilot.
Michael Caine.
But I must say, the coolest part of that movie was when Jaws attacked his plane and he killed him.
Oh yeah.
That was a cool part of that movie. Like,
That was cool.
yeah.
And you never know what version you're going to see either, because if you watch it on TV, sometimes the black guy survives and then sometimes the black guy dies.
Yep.
I don't understand that one.
But I mean, if you ever read the backs, like the synopsis of these movies, if you read this, it actually tries to sell it so hard because it has to. And I love I love the location of it. I just know that the Caribbean, it's so beautiful. The water is just so blue. It's so cool to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that Jaws does not belong in the frickin' Caribbean. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Great white sharks can survive in Hawaii and places like
Yeah.
that, but it's a little bit far-fetched in Jaws: The Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the airplane scene's pretty cool. The boat where the shark gets the prong right in the gills.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I mean, you can check it out if you're a fan of the Jaws films, which is we are, but Jaws: The Revenge. Yeah, I don't know. You check it out at your own risk.
Yeah.
Michael Caine is cool. We
Yeah.
love Michael Caine.
Oh, yeah.
Lauren Gary's great too. Peter Benchley's the Beast. Now this is originally a TV-made movie with William Peterson, CSI guy, Grissom himself. after a giant squid that's terrorizing this coastal community that relies on fishing, to survive. And of course, anyone knows anything about giant squids or squid in general, they eat fish. So this thing comes in and just kind of clears all the fish markets out, and then it starts attacking because they depleted all its fish, all its food supply. So that's starting to attack humans, and it just kind of gets a bit ugly. But this is a really good movie. I think more people should see The Beast, give it a shot. Made for TV movie. I saw it when I was just a little shit. I remember it like yesterday. I probably still have the one I actually taped off TV, but I'm really glad it kind of got a good release. Deserves it. Peter Benchley's The Beast. He also made another one called Creature, which was good too. Check that one out.
All right.
Hail Peter Cushing. Peter Benchley.
All right, go back to the Crocs with Primeval. This would have been, 2000 something? I don't remember.
2004, I think?
Seven.
I don't know. I think it came around the same time.
Well, the DVD release was 2007.
Oh, okay.
Either way, I know
That's okay.
those Buena Vista, when you actually try to look for a date on these damn movies, they never print them. Stupid company for that. Basically, this is it's a true story, or it's a story based on a crocodile.
Gustav.
That was that ate people. Well,
Yeah, in Africa.
and this is a little bit different take on the story. I mean,
I'd say.
the idea they had there, but they definitely really pushed, I think.
Yeah, I would say, literally. Eating cars.
But yeah, basically it just kind of follows his trail of terror and killing people and stuff like that. It's your typical CG stuff, but they do have the practical, which
Yeah. I enjoy
is
it.
always nice to have. It's not a bad movie. It's
That one was
actually
pretty fun.
good.
Pretty good gore as well.
Oh yeah.
Gustav, yeah, is based on a true croc case in Africa. And I think I don't think they ever got him. I think he's still out there, so...
He's got to be at least 50 feet. No, I'm just kidding. No idea.
Probably more like 30 ghoul.
It's a long time.
Which is still big, but...
That's a big-ass croc.
That's a big ass croc.
Those Cayman ones are that big, but...
No, this is one of my favorite shark movies of all time. I think this is probably the best outside of Jaws. Maybe 47 Meters Down. This is The Reef, another Aussie horror film. The acting in this movie is superb, I think. You really care about the characters, kind of like in Blackwater. Those two are kind of linked a bit, I think. I think they came around at the same time. The one's about a croc, the one's about a great white, so...
Go figure.
So, this really is a great film, and one of the things I like about it is... It's about what you don't see. Like, you don't see the shark, for the longest time. It's all about having the illusion that there's a great white shark stalking these people, but you don't see it. You just kind of see this blue, murky water. Anything could be down there, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty freaky. And then when you finally see the great white shark, it's pretty intense, and it does some pretty nasty stuff to some of these people, and who will survive. It's pretty much a survival story at its finest. The Reef is great. Don't go to Australia.
A lot of shark and alligator movies in Australia.
Nah, man, this is a great movie. The Reef, one of my favorites. It's Gigor's personal favorites.
All right, we're moving on to
What do you got?
Lake Placid.
Oh,
This movie's actually really good. I like this
Betty
movie.
White.
Betty White
Betty
feeding
White.
the cows. Feeding
Fuck.
the cows. The old lady, like, what is she doing?
Yep. Fucking
going out
Golden
there
Girls
every day.
herself,
Yeah.
feeding the crack.
Goes out there every day and they keep looking at her going, what is she feeding? And all of a sudden you see the cow and then you just see this big gator just right out of the water and eats it.
Huge crack.
Bill Pullman's in this one, Bridget Fonda, so it's a pretty good all-star cast here.
Yeah. It's got the weird dude from Apollo 13. Or Independence Day.
Independence Day, yeah. Plays the president.
Yeah.
This movie, though, this is the one to watch. I mean, they've made like 2 or 3 after that, the Lake Placid series.
They made a lot.
Yeah, and the rest of them. I mean, this was CG, but this was at least the acting was done well. You know, like I said, you actually had a good cast in this movie. Actually, actors that you could watch. You know,
Yep.
but you watch any of those new ones, it's just a bunch of total. I don't know. They just get a bunch, in my opinion, a bunch of has-been kind of people. But
They made a lot of
yeah,
those
there's
movies.
like 5 or 6 of them. It's crazy.
I think Robert Englund is a couple of them
Yep.
as well. And
So, but I definitely say the first Lake Placid is my favorite.
Lake Placid, great movie.
I saw that in theaters actually.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Shit, that's cool.
Years ago.
That's cool. Well, anyway,
Too cool for you.
from 1971, this is the shark film that started it all, and I'm not surprised if not a lot of people know about this one because it's more of a documentary than a film, but it does kind of fall in that category, and it definitely, with Ron and Valerie Taylor's filming of the great white sharks, would eventually lead to Jaws. So, it is the great documentary / film Blue Water White Death, Search for the Great White Shark. This Peter Gimbo, rest in peace, was a pioneer in his time for underwater photography and animals. And Stan Waterman also, who's actually still alive, which is really cool. Rodney Fox, who's a great white shark attack survivor, is in this, and it's such a great documentary. You know, you see these characters, because back then the great white shark really was not. I mean, this is 71, so this is before Jaws. No one really knew anything really about the great white shark. So this was like one of the first documentaries of its kind to go out and hunt for the great white shark and try to study the great white shark. And we learned so much shark science from this one film, and I think it's gold. Blue Water White Death.
Alright, another one we actually all saw
Oh yeah, we saw
in
it.
theaters together. The Shallows.
Steve Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Who would have known? I remember laughing when we saw that. Steven Seagal.
Good scenery too. She was pretty cute.
This actually was a very good movie in my opinion. And it was kind of cool, like a woman, stranded on the middle of a rock in the middle of a lagoon.
Yep.
I remember we talked about it after this movie was done. The only real downside to this movie was, I guess, if you are a nerd, you figure out the behavioral patterns, and after a while, if there's nothing going on, they don't stick around the area.
That was a very long
I had
conversation
to hear
after
that
the
for
movie.
about an hour of him debating that.
Great white sharks do not act like that. Okay, they do not.
What would that have made for a boring movie?
Well, the whole thing at the end with the buoy and the
Yeah.
fucking going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little far-fetched, but it's
Right.
a film, a popcorn film,
It's
a
fun.
film to have fun with, a film to be afraid of sharks. Once again, I think
Yeah.
The Shallows is The
I
Shallows.
just always remember it. Actually, I would think it was a cool jump
I do remember
scare.
my sermon after the movie though too.
Yeah. I remember the cool jump scene was when her friends were swimming out there and that shark just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And just chomps that guy up and flips him up and yeah, that was cool.
that was worth it for sure.
But no, this movie definitely is again, we talk survival. This is like, I think, one of the ultimate survival movies. Like, you got to deal with the tide and this, like,
Mexicans stealing your stuff on the beach.
yeah, it's just trying to yell at him. And like, there's people the guy was on the beach and she was yelling at him, but because of the winds and stuff, he couldn't hear her. And it's like, man, like, yeah, it's definitely one of those cool movies, man. Really creepy.
Yeah, that was a great one. That was really fun watching the theater.
Except for the sermon.
I like my sharks. Anyone who knows me. This was a really good movie. It's called 12 Days of Terror. The shark looks really. I mean, I think this is actually made for TV movie. Honestly, it's so cheap, but this is the story about the 1916 attacks on the New Jersey shore, 1916, which inspired Peter Benchley to write the book Jaws. So this is kind of where it all started. Basically the Matawan Creek attacks and all those beach attacks. At the time, people thought of the whole rogue shark theory. They thought that it was just one shark, and of course a great white shark took the blame for it. But little did science know at the time that bull sharks can actually travel in fresh water. So in the Matawan Creek, I believe it was a bull shark that took all those kids. But Michael Schleicher caught an 8-foot great white shark outside of Matawan Creek with, I believe, 10 pounds of human flesh in it. And it's never been really... It's never really been, like, discussed. I mean, it was obviously human remains, but, you know, they thought for years that that was the shark, so of course it was a great white shark. So that made the great white shark what it is. But I personally think it was a bull shark because it was in fresh water at the Matawan Creek attacks. But yeah, anyway, be that as it may, 12 Days of Terror is a great movie. And I'm also going to tie it in real quick with the Discovery Channel Shark Week Jaws of Steel collection. There's a documentary on here called Blood in the Water, which does a, if not better job of the 1916 attacks. It's really gory for a Discovery Channel documentary. I remember when it first aired, I couldn't believe how gory it was, you know, seeing kids ripped in half and stuff. It was pretty weird. But yeah, this one's good too, Blood in the Water. But yeah, those two, that's pretty much where Jaws came from.
We got a little doohickey from '77, Tentacles.
Yeah. That's an old one.
This is a really good movie actually about a killer octopus, which I think this is our first octopus movie. It's very far in between about octopus movies.
I believe so.
Again, people go missing. Henry Fonda is in this one. Basically, this giant octopus is, I guess, brought, you know, from the depths, and he's taking people's lives and, you know, things like that.
Pet shark.
And basically, a marine scientist has to go down there, and it's him and his band of killer whales.
Really?
Trained killer whales.
Trained killer whales?
That are going to go to battle against this octopus.
Tentacles, I gotta see that one.
But I love as they prepare for a titanic undersea encounter. But definitely check out Tentacles. I believe this did actually just get a DVD release, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, it was only available on VHS. But I do think that, yes, they did actually get a good release on this. So
I'll have to check that out.
It's a great movie.
And we have one more for you guys. And we probably would be shot if we didn't show this. This is a long time coming, Ghoul. We've been doing this for, 3 years now? And I remember our first episode, we talked about this movie. The second episode, we talked about this movie. The third episode, we talked about this movie.
Yeah.
And
then
now,
we
can finally talk about this movie. And that is...
Jaws.
The one, the only.
The original. Well, not the original, but...
My personal favorite movie of all time, of any genre, anything you throw at me, Jaws, #1.
Yep.
And I really don't even know what we could even say about this movie that hasn't been said before. It sounds cliche, but everyone knows
Very
Jaws.
true.
Everyone should know Jaws. Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Lauren Gary, Murray Hamilton.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest characters, timeless
Quotes.
characters. Quotes, oh god, don't get me started.
I mean, you could quote this movie. And
Son of a bitch!
And the thing is, it's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
But you don't even notice it.
No, it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
And it's so enjoyable. And it's the best shark movie ever made.
Hey,
Still to this day.
I got bit by a vampire.
You kids are playing on those swings again. Stay off those. I haven't fixed those yet.
See what we mean?
Tiger shark. A what?
A what? Yeah.
Take a racer with you. Yeah, we'll never shut up.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah.
Back home, I got a taxidermy man. He gonna have a heart attack when you see what I brought him.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of just one of those movies, man, that just
Classic.
stands the test of time. It'll get so many releases because it'll never die. Universal made great strides with this movie.
Jaws is the best. And with that,
We say adieu. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Descent into Horror Hell. Just knocked off Jaws 3.
rah! Hail.
Cheers, guys.
Wherever Fulci lives, I'm Skid Gore,
I'm cool.
and we'll see you next time on Descent
It's a whore! Hell yeah!